In today's video, we're going to talk about ketogenic diets, the diet that I'm on. I've been getting a lot of people that have been asking questions, how many calories should I eat? What ratios? How much protein? How much fat? How much carbs? Why is this working? Why were you able to lose 50 plus pounds in less than 90 days and continue to lose, fat as you're going through this? Well, guys, the keto diet has been referred to as kind of like an Atkins 2.0. It's well known for being a low carb diet. And what it does is it actually forces the body to produce ketones in the liver, and it uses those ketones as energy. So most people use glucose as energy. I would say 97 to 99% of the population. Glucose is created by ingesting carbohydrates. Well, too much carbohydrates make you fat. So obviously, if you're trying to lose weight, you want to eliminate those carbohydrates. So it's referred to a lot of different names: ketogenic diet, low carb, high fat, keto diet, ketogenic diet, ketosis. So because glucose is the easiest molecule for your body to convert as energy, it's really what your body wants to burn as energy, and that's why we're hardwired to want more sugar and just snacky food that's terrible for us. But so what happens is insulin is produced to process this glucose that enters your bloodstream, and it takes it all around the body through the bloodstream. And since glucose is being used as a primary energy source, your fat is not needed, and so it gets stored. So typically on a normal standard American diet or a normal higher carbohydrate diet, again, as I said, the body just uses glucose as its main form of energy. So by lowering the intake of carbs, your body is forced into a state called ketosis. Ketosis is a natural process the body initiates to help us survive when food is at a shortage. So if you think back to the days of cavemen and stuff like that, food was shortage. It was at a shortage, so basically the body would burn fat as a fuel source. It's actually very efficient once you make the transition. The end goal really here of a properly maintained keto diet is to force your body into that metabolic state. Now, we don't do this through starving. As I said, I was going to talk about the various calories and how we determine the calories. That's why we're actually on the Keto Gains website. I'm going to show you how to figure that out for you. But, our bodies by nature, they're extremely adaptive to what you put into it. So when you overload it with fats and take away carbohydrates, it's gonna begin to burn those ketones as your main energy source. So at this point, you're thinking, okay, this sounds pretty good. I want to know how it's going to work for me. And the real question in everybody's mind is, what do I eat? Because I like to eat. Well, guys, I like to eat too. Obviously, I wouldn't have ballooned up to 291 pounds at 5'7" if I didn't like to eat. The super cool thing about this is, guys, I don't starve myself. I don't tell myself no when it comes to just about anything. I just shift how I eat a little bit. So I'm going to talk about that. Before I get into the exact breakdown of the, how much protein, how much carbs, how much fat, I want to pop over to another resource here. This is a couple from Australia, and they have a website, lowcarbisland.com. It's a cool little website. You're going to go right to the homepage, and they're going to talk about keeping it simple. Because, guys, a lot of people have the tendency to overcomplicate this diet. And, you can if you want to drive yourself crazy, but if you're looking to just get results, keep it simple. So this is going to talk about the rules, Eat when you're hungry. Stop when you're satisfied. Make sure you eat a lot of good fats. Eat real food. Get quality sleep. And remember, this is not a diet, it's a lifestyle. The reason why you've started a journey before and you've failed in your mind, or you've stopped, or you've quit, or whatever you want to call it, is because you've set a momentary goal in place. And goals are important, don't get me wrong. But if your goal was, hey, I want to lose 30 pounds before this wedding, or I want to lose 30 pounds before I go to my 20-year high school reunion, or whatever short-term goal, everything you do is going to be based around that goal. And once that time frame passes, once that wedding passes or that high school reunion passes, you're going to go back to everything you were doing before. and it just doesn't work. So when you start on a keto diet, you're going to want to plan and work that plan. It's definitely a viable plan, and what you eat really depends on how fast you want to get into that ketogenic state where you're burning body fat as energy. The more restrictive you are, the quicker you're going to get there. So if you're talking 15, 20, 25 grams of carbohydrates a day, you're going to get there a lot faster than if you were between, say, 40 and 50 grams of carbohydrates a day. So if you need some food ideas, check out the other videos on my page. And, don't forget to subscribe so that you get notifications of when I do more. So we'll get into our nutritional breakdown, like how much protein, how much fat, in just a second. So what kind of food do I eat? Well, first let's start with the good fats. Plenty of good fats. I eat grass-fed butter, and it's made by Kerrygold. It's the absolute best. It's what everybody seems to use. Extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil. I eat whole eggs. I eat the whole thing. I eat bacon. Guys, you lose fat eating bacon. I'm going to repeat that. You get to lose fat while eating bacon. Full fat cream, low carb cheeses, which most are. Talk to your grocer, or if you're lucky enough to have a cheese store, that's even better. And you can use like high fat sauces like hollandaise, béarnaise, and creamy peppercorn and stuff like that. Just stay away from the commercially made garbage for obvious reasons. So what about veggies? Okay, maybe you're not a big veggie guy. I really am not either. But you know what? I can handle half a cup to a cup of broccoli or cauliflower with just about any meal. Avocados are awesome. Celery, zucchini, Swiss chard, spinach, lettuce, tomatoes, mushrooms, asparagus, chilies, red chilies, and jalapeno chilies and stuff like that. Brussels sprouts, can't stand them personally, and any kind of leafy green, really. So, all right, what about protein? What kind of meat can I eat? I really like to have my big fat steak, a nice juicy ribeye. Go for it. Now, grass-fed beef is best because, a lot of people ask why. Well, grass-fed meat is the best because, think about it. Meat was designed by nature to eat grass. And in the commercial marketplace that we live in, we feed it grain to fatten it up. Beef, chicken, bacon, pork, venison, deer meat, organic eggs are best if you can get a hold of them. If you can, don't tell me you can't afford them, because you guys, you're not eating a dozen of them a day. This diet is very cost effective, even if you buy organic as much as you can. Fish, lamb. When it comes to fish, things like black cod, salmon's pretty good. Tuna's obviously pretty good. Just be wary of the amount of mercury in any of these foods. And then, they talk about some higher carb ingredients like berries. I don't eat any fruit at all. Now, this is a preference, but again, I want to get into that ketogenic state where I'm burning fat, and I want to stay there. So, I do definitely eat pecans from time to time. Not every day, but for one, they taste great, and for two, they're super good. Nice protein to fat ratio for this. And then, what you want to avoid. You want to avoid like the plague. Grains, bread, yes, including whole wheat bread. Don't eat it. Cereals, wheat flour, seed oils. So avoid canola oil, corn oil. Stop buying margarine. Don't buy any butter-like spreads. Avoid that stuff. Avoid sugar, including coconut sugar, palm sugar, honey, maple syrup. Just get rid of it. High fructose fruits. We talked about this briefly. Just fruits in general, just don't eat them. Guys, I know you're thinking, I need the vitamins. Well, then take a multivitamin. Okay? Stay away from pasta and starchy vegetables, potatoes, beans, legumes, any kind of diet food, GMO foods, processed foods. Stay away from trans fats, anything labeled low fat. Just stay away from it. And I know this is going to break a lot of people's hearts right here, but stay away from beer, juice, pop, and milk. Guys, adults don't need milk, and we don't need any of the other ones. We don't need beer. We don't need juice. We don't need pop, and we don't need milk. I know that's going to ruffle some feathers, and you may disagree with me, and that's fine. But I'm just telling you how this works, and if you follow this, it will work. Why should you listen to me, and why should you listen to, some of the resources that I'm presenting here? Well, again, pictures are pretty self-explanatory, guys. And I encourage you, go over to lowcarbisland.com and click this Our Story and read it. Follow these guys. They've been a great resource for me. So back over to ketogains.com so we can talk about the macro calculator and how to, basically how to figure out what you need to eat in the average day. So just go ahead and click on this photo here. It's going to bring up a nice picture here. It's going to allow you to help estimate your body fat percentage. And if you're saying, I don't care what my body fat percentage is, I know it's ridiculous, and just follow me here, guys, okay? So take a look at this picture and determine which one of these guys is closest to how you look right now. And ladies, I'm gonna ask for your apology, but not to say this video is all for the guys, but I don't have a good picture for the ladies, so I'm sorry. So guys, take a look at this picture and determine where you're at now. Are you in the 10 to 14? Are you in the 15 to 19, 20 to 24, 30 to 34, 35? Where are you? Okay. And what we do then is we go over and we click this macro calculator. And this macro calculator is not only going to give us the amount of calories we should be eating in a day, and guys, if you're off by 10 or 20 or 30 calories a day, it's fine. It doesn't matter, but this is kind of where you need to be. So what's your goal? I want to build huge muscles. I want to get freaking jacked. I want to look like this guy. That, by the way, is Darth Luigi, is how he's known on the interwebs. Luigi is the founder of Keto Gains, an excellent resource and a pretty cool guy. So anyway, so I want to build huge muscles, or if you're like most of us, you want to get rid of some fat. You're carrying way too much fat, and it's time for it to go bye-bye. So click, I want to lose fat. Okay. So then again, pick your body percentage. Okay. What this is telling you is if this is your body fat percentage, this is what you can expect to lose. 1.7 pounds a week if you're 18, about 20% body fat. That's huge, okay? So put your body weight in here. And guys, I'm transparent, so I'm going to put what mine was on Saturday. So 238.8 pounds. My body fat is, I'm going to say it's probably about 35% right now. Might be a little higher, might be a little less. I don't know. Guys, this is not an exact science. It doesn't need to be. So it's going to tell you your lean mass. So if I had zero body fat whatsoever, all I had was bones, muscles, and obviously we'd have to have a little bit of fat because your brain is mostly made of fat. But so 155 pounds with no fat, virtually no fat. And then what is my activity level? Well, guys, only you can answer this for yourself. You can put your daily exercise information in here. I didn't. And, not to say that's right or wrong. I just didn't. So, all right, my goal, lose fat. And, I want to get moving here pretty darn quick. So, I'm going to go with a 30% calorie deficit. I would not go higher than that, guys, by the way. What it's telling me is 1,456 is where I want to be without exercise, or 1,540 with exercise. Now, I do a little bit of exercise. I don't do a lot. I go for a walk, 2 miles, 2.5 miles, 5-6 times a week. That's where I'm at right now. I shoot for 1,500 a day. That's right there. Take the two numbers and go 1,500. That's perfect for me. So, and you might be thinking, oh my goodness, how do you only eat 1,500 calories? That's like nothing. Well, guys, if you have the right ratios, if you have the right amount of fat, you're not hungry. There's days I have to force myself to eat dinner, as ridiculous as that sounds. So, okay, then it's going to tell you your breakdown, okay? Now, it's going to default to 30 grams of carbs, but I'm aggressive, so I want to shoot for under 20. Okay? Protein, it's going to default to 0.8 grams. That's how you maintain your muscle. And guys, if you're one of these 1 to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight guys, try it, play with it. Real quick about calories. Losing weight or gaining muscle is all about calories in versus calories out. There's no way to avoid that. It is what it is. So if you understand that 1 gram of protein is 4 calories and 1 gram of carbs is 4 calories and 1 gram of fat is 9 calories, you can figure this out on the fly pretty quickly without being a math wizard. So this is going to give you your breakdown, and it's going to tell you right where you need to be. So I actually adjusted this down just a little bit to the 0.7, and then I adjusted this down just a hair because it's, again, I'm shooting for 1500. You'll notice it moving there, 1506, 1497, and guys, this is not rocket science. Don't overcomplicate it, okay? That's basically where you want to be. So if you'll notice this here, you're at 66% fat. Call it 65, 30, and 5. Okay, that's pretty much where I end up. I end up anywhere between 60 and 70% fat, 25 to 30% protein, and anywhere between 3 and 10 grams of carbs. It's not an exact science. I use MyFitnessPal to track that. If you're not using that, I would suggest it. What's the benefits, and what can you expect? Besides eventually looking jacked like this guy, the keto diet has been shown to improve your triglyceride levels and the cholesterol levels most commonly associated with, heart disease. So basically, it improves your good cholesterol numbers. Now, a word of warning, your overall cholesterol will also go up. I'm not going to tell you it won't, but it doesn't matter. And if your doctor tells you it does, ask for a particle cholesterol test. All right? So enough on that. So weight loss, that's what we're here, right? Your body's going to burn fat as your main source of energy. So you're essentially using up your fat stores as an energy source while you're going through your day. And guys, after the first couple of days, you may be a little fuzzy. You may have a little bit of a headache. I'm not going to lie to you. They call it the keto flu. It's just part of the process. Your body is shifting gears, okay? Imagine you had your car and it was running on, gasoline for, 35 years, and all of a sudden you say, I'm going to convert that to biodiesel. Well, you got to do some steps to make sure that process works properly. So anyways, your blood sugar. This is a great diet because a lot of studies have shown the decrease of LDL cholesterol over time, and that has been shown to eliminate some ailments such as type 2 diabetes. A good number of type 2 insulin-dependent diabetics have been able to stop taking insulin because of this diet. So, what about energy? Well, guys, I have so much energy, it's ridiculous. And that's a combination of I have a lot of fat on my body yet to burn, so I have a lot of energy, and because I sleep right, because I try to, limit my stress, and because I get good sleep. So, fats have been shown to be the most powerful molecule to burn as fuel. I have way more energy than ever before. So, hunger. I talked about this real briefly. You're going to be naturally more satisfied because your fat leaves you satiated. It leaves you feeling full for much longer. And for those who have, skin problems, eczema, acne, things like that, recent studies have shown that there's actually some improvement there as well. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to totally eliminate it, but it can certainly help. All right. So for the guys who want to look like Darth Luigi here, okay, maybe you're already at a 10, 12, 15% body fat, and you're like, hey, I'm ready to do some bulking, man. I want to get freaking jacked like this guy. So, right? So you're going to see some limitations on your performance when you first get started. Let me repeat, when you first get started. It's not a big deal. You know, are you trying to get healthy or are you trying to be good at exercise? You know, I mean, seriously, ask yourself that. Are you trying to be good at exercise or are you trying to get healthy? So once your body fully adapts to using fat as the primary fuel source, all of your strength and endurance will return to normal. And so a lot of people ask, are carbs needed to build muscle? Well, you got to have a lot of carbs in order to build muscle. Look at the picture and you tell me. I would say no. A keto diet is a great way to build muscle, but your protein intake is key here. So if you're looking to gain mass, you should be in that 1 to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight in protein. So, and it may be a little slower, but that's because you're burning fat too. So you're not going to put on weight as quickly, but you're going to be putting on the quality muscle that you want. And guys, you know, getting your body where you want it to be, it's not a race. You know, I've said a bunch of times that I have a certain time frame in mind, but it doesn't matter if I don't hit that. I'm going to still keep going. So, you know, if you need to, for some reason you need to tailor things, you know, look into the cyclical keto diet or the targeted keto diet for putting on mass. So some people, you know, even though they're restricting carbohydrates, they find that they need a little bit of a push right before, you know, heavy lifting. And, you know, whether you agree that heavy lifting is the only way to build muscle or not, that's not really what this discussion's about. But for those of you who need a little boost, you can carb up. You can actually eat, you know, pretty much all of your carbs half an hour before you work out, and that works. All right, so at this point, you're thinking to yourself, man, this sounds really good. In fact, it sounds too good to be true. Well, every once in a while, guys, maybe once, maybe twice in your lifetime, you're going to hear something that sounds ridiculous, and it sounds too good to be true. But isn't it worth taking a little bit of time to investigate and do some research? And guys, worst case scenario, try it. Okay? Look at this transformation in front of you. This was our friend from Low Carb Island. Okay? That's nuts, guys. You want more proof? This guy lost at least 100 pounds. This guy is well on his way to where he wants to go. And here's somebody you might recognize, Chris Pratt from Guardians of the Galaxy. Guys, he got cut for that movie using low carb, high fat, and a personal trainer. This stuff works, guys. So you might be thinking to yourself, okay, cool, you know, everything sounds good. Where do I start? How do I get going? You know, the simplest thing to do, there's two main resources that I suggest. The first one I showed you here is called ketogains.com with the keto calculator. The other one, and I'm going to pull it up right now, is called ruled.me. And this is a blog that was put together by a guy named Craig. And he has got some great reading, some excellent resources, you know, information that you can not only learn how to do the keto diet correctly, but, you know, there's recipes, success stories, recommended supplements or exercise or books that you should read, etc. So this has been a pretty good resource too. It's something I found not that long ago, so I'm going to go ahead at this point and say that it's a good resource. But you know, if you want to use the keto calculator that I suggest, is this ketogains.com. This guy's, you know, Luigi's been at it for 14, almost 15 years, and he obviously knows what he's doing. So guys, I hope you've learned a lot here. I appreciate you taking, you know, this 25, 30 minutes or so to learn more about how you can lose weight. I sincerely hope that you make a decision to do something for your life, for your family's life. And don't forget to subscribe, like, share. This is how the channel grows. This is how we can get this message out to more people that desperately need some help losing some weight. Thank you so much. Have a great day.